Chapter 1. We start off as we see the MC on a call with his mother. He turns towards a girl with shock and fear in his face. He asks the girl, who in the world is she? Now we go back to the start. We see the MC explain that in the summer of his second year in high school, a moving van and a familiar last name came back into his life. We see him receiving a gift from the Fukagawa. As he thinks that she's back, he looks at the name and gets confused a little. He sees a girl with a big bow in her hair and an umbrella to protect herself from the sun as she hands him the gift. He recognizes her and gets scared and cautious as he asks her if she's really Miyu-chan. He sounds confused and shocked as he is surprised that she's still wearing those big ribbons. We see that she's become his neighbor now, living right next to his house. The MC now explains that for years, the house next door has been vacant. There used to be a family of 3 there. Miyu-chan, with her trademark big ribbons, and her parents, the Fukagawas. Miyu-chan and the MC are childhood friends. They've been together since they were born. They were super close friends, always together. But one summer in elementary school, they suddenly had to part. We see the Miyu-chan in the past apologize to the MC as she holds a taiyaki. She tells him that she has to move because of her dad's work. Hearing this shocks the young MC. He asks her, where is she moving to? She tells him that she's moving to Gunma. He asks her, where is Gunma, and if it's in a foreign country. She replies and tells him that it's in Japan, and he should study more. The MC looks stressed and worried as he asks her if this means that he can't play with her anymore. She looks like she has no emotions as she eats the taiyaki and tells him that they can't play together anymore. She continues and tells him that when they get into high school, she'll come back in the summer of the first year. Hearing this brings hope into his eyes. He screams and asks her, "Really?" She replies and tells him to promise her that when she does come back, they will go to the fireworks festival together. She puts on a big smile and tells him that they'll be friends forever. Now we see him say that after that day, years passed. The summer of his first year in high school. The promised day had come. Now we see the MC sleeping in a hospital bed with a broken leg due to falling down the stairs. He sleeps there as he hears the fireworks go off. He explains that he couldn't go to the fireworks as he promised due to his broken leg. He thinks that they've been getting along and exchanging messages for years until that day. That day, he tries to tell her that he's sorry and he can't go to the fireworks through texts. He looks completely worried and scared as he sees that Miyu has ghosted him despite his desperate excuses. He thinks that with this one message, maybe Miyu got so angry that she cut him out of her life, even though he was supposed to be her friend forever. He tosses the phone aside as he thinks that women are so difficult and gives up as he thinks that it can't be helped. And with that incident, a complex male heart has emerged, incidentally. Now in the present, as he stands face to face with Miyu, he thinks that a year has passed since they grew apart without really knowing why. He stares at her while looking concerned from the thought that Miyu has appeared again before his very eyes after so long, and she's become too beautiful. He thinks that only her ribbons have stayed the same. He diverts his gaze from her as he thinks that she was always pretty and that she always wore frilly clothes. His memory of how she looks is vague, as the last time he saw her was 5 years ago. He looks at her chest and thinks not only the ribbons, but those are huge too. It stands out more than the present she is holding. He thinks that she's grown so much in different places and wonders if girls change this much in just a few years, and starts blushing as he keeps staring at her chest. Miyu calls his name as he's just staring at her assets and not really saying anything. Miyu tells him that she wants to greet his mom and asks him if she can come in. He suddenly starts bowing down repeatedly and apologizes to her, or more like apologizes to her chest, for looking at it for so long. She gets confused by this and tells him that there's no need to apologize so much. He invites her in and tells her that his mom is on a business trip right now, so he's home alone, so he can't do much to treat her. Suddenly, Miyu looks at the photo of him and his mom together. She picks it up and says, "If I'm not mistaken, you don't have a dad, right?" Hearing this confuses him at first, but he replies and says, "Yeah." As she looks at the photo, she looks serious and says, "So you get along with your mom?" He suddenly gets embarrassed and snatches the photo and starts blushing as he tells her that this is embarrassing. She tells him that she just ended up wanting to look around. He asks her if she was feeling nostalgic and tells her that him and his mom haven't changed much though. Suddenly he remembers something. Now we see that he's brought her to a place called Taiyaki Master. He tells her that this is the perfect place for nostalgia. He says that she liked taiyaki so much that she ate it all year round, regardless of season. And if he remembers correctly, they were here when they talked about her moving. Seeing the taiyaki in his hand makes Miyu excited and say, "Taiyaki from the whirlpool shop." She takes it and looks at it with such joy and thanks him as she always wanted to eat it. As they are sitting down and eating it, he looks at her eat and thinks that she's incredibly cute. He starts blushing and wonders what was that sparkling smile she just had. He starts thinking about the past and thinks that he hasn't seen her in person since his male heart emerged. He couldn't even contact her after the firework festival. Suddenly, he looks to her and tells her that he knows it's a bit late to ask her this, and asks her why did she ignore his message during the firework festival last year. Suddenly, she says his name. She changes the topic and asks him if his new term starts tomorrow. He gets confused at first, but replies to her and says that it does start tomorrow. Hearing this makes her happy. She tells him that even her term starts tomorrow. With a cheerful smile, she tells him that she'll be going to the same school as him, starting tomorrow, and tells him that she's looking forward to it. He is taken by surprise as he says, "I see." She tells him that she can go now because she passed the exam. And apparently, the transfer exam is more difficult, so she was afraid of failing. She continues and says that when she thinks about the future, she thought that it'd be good to go to school in Tokyo. As she's saying this, the MC says that he hopes that they can be in the same class again, as he squeezes his pants while being anxious. She smiles and tells him that she'll visit him in the morning if he doesn't mind, and tells him that they should go to school together. Suddenly, he looks a little worried as he agrees with her. She looks at him and suddenly tells him that he's stopped wearing his glasses. Hearing this worries him. She remembers the past and tells him that he wore them all the time in elementary school. He was even wearing it in the photo, which was in the hallway, and he even had his high school uniform in it too. She looks at him, tries to guess why. He gets worried about what she's going to say. Suddenly, she asks him if he had a makeover with contact lenses. Hearing this leaves him dumbfounded. He replies and tells her that it's something like what she said as he laughs. She looks at him and tells him that at his door, he seemed to have a hard time reading the letter on the wrapping paper of the present, so she assumed that he couldn't see too well. Now, as they're done talking and eating, we see her go as she waves him by and tells him that he can buy contact lenses from retailers, too, if he has his eyes examined, and tells him that he can make it for the new term if he goes now. She tells him that they'll see each other tomorrow and thanks him for the taiyaki. He stands there looking confused. Now we see a box full of taiyaki. We see that it's the present given to him by Miyu. He thinks what's wrong with her, and that even the present she gave is taiyaki, and that she likes taiyaki way more than he remembers. Suddenly he recalls her mentioning his glasses. He looks worried. He slides open his drawer and pulls out his glasses, which are broken. He looks at it and says that Miyu is too attentive and wonders if she's become a detective or something since he last saw her. He says that there's no way he can tell her that he broke them. As he's saying this, he suddenly gets a notification. He sees that it's his mom asking him about how things are going and if the school is starting tomorrow. He types a message saying that he broke his glasses, but deletes it. He looks worried as he says that he can't even tell his mom, and it's even harder to tell a girl who just came back here today. He looks sad, as he thinks that he'll just send a harmless report and replies to his mom that Miyu moved back into the house next door, and she's going to the same school as him, starting tomorrow, and that he was surprised. After sending the text, he thinks that he'll just go buy some contact lenses. We see the MC explain that he was like this last summer too. He listed words of apology like, "I'm sorry, I regret it," and so on, but he's never told any to Miyu-chan. Now we see the next day, a bunch of money thrown into the air. We see the money thrown into the MC's face as he looks shocked. Now we see someone pushing him down as the MC thinks that he couldn't tell Miyu the real reason he couldn't go to the summer festival. We see the guy looking at the MC with hate and asking him if he's joking right now. He tells him that he asked him to prepare the money before the school day. He gets close to the MC and tells him that this isn't enough at all, and tells him that he's in a bind for money. He continues and asks, "Haven't they been precious friends since elementary school?" The MC looks scared as he tries to find words to reply. As he apologizes to Murai, he thinks that he doesn't have enough money because he bought some taiyaki and contact lenses, so he doesn't have enough on him. He tries to tell Murai that he doesn't have it on hand right now, but Murai grabs the MC by his shirt and tells him to not give any excuses. He asks him if he's already forgotten after he broke his glasses the other day. Murai tells him that there are many other ways to get the money, like going through his parents' wallet and stuff. He tells him to never talk to him like that again, and calls him an idiot. As the MC looks scared, he tells him that his parents are on a business trip now. Hearing this angers Murai even more. He pushes the MC away as he calls him useless, annoying, and that he really pisses him off. Mirai continues and asks him if he ever wonders why he hasn't hit him, even though he's irritated by how useless he is. The MC gets confused for a bit. He replies and asks him, "Isn't it because we're friends?" Hearing this makes Mirai look at the MC with disgust. He asks the MC if he's serious right now after hearing what he said. The MC looks confused. As Mirai is going back, he tells the MC that he still needs the money and tells him to kneel or something in front of everyone in the class before school ends and borrow some money. The MC tries to tell him something, but Mirai interrupts and tells him that he forgot that he doesn't have any friends besides him and laughs. As Mirai leaves, the MC breathes a breath of relief. Suddenly, Miyu jumps in front of him as she calls his name. Seeing her suddenly scares him. He gets surprised and asks her what is she doing here and when did she get here. Miyu looks all sparkly in her new uniform. She tells him that she's supposed to ask him that and asks him why did he leave first when she told him that they'd go to school together. He looks worried as he apologizes to her and tells her that he remembered that he made plans with a friend of his before. Hearing this makes her question him and the friend. She looks serious as she asks him if a friend takes their money and threatens them and tells the MC that he's very affectionate. Hearing this scares the MC. He thinks that she saw everything. He tries to save it by saying that she may not remember this, but him, Mirai, and her were in the same class in elementary school. He continues and tells her that after she changed schools, he got along with Mirai because they went to the same middle school and high school. Suddenly, he looks sad as he continues to say that until last summer of their first year of high school. Hearing last summer intrigues Miyu. The MC continues and says that out of nowhere, Mirai started bullying his classmates. The MC reflexively stood up for her, but then Mirai chose him as his next target. After that, Mirai treated him coldly, and people gradually drifted away from him. The MC is ashamed to say this, but on the day of the fireworks festival, Mirai pretended to hit him. The MC got scared, and he fell down the stairs himself. He broke a bone and ended up in the hospital. The MC tries to defend Mirai by saying that this all happened because he was just being clumsy. He tells her that they had the same vibe before, and though he may not look like it, Mirai is not hitting him directly or anything. He gets a bit hesitant and says that Mirai is definitely not evil at heart. He is at loss of words and suddenly becomes sad. The MC apologizes to Miyu that even though they promised to meet that day, he couldn't make it. Miyu and the MC stand there in silence for a moment. She suddenly smiles and says, "I see," and that the MC is really nice. Seeing this reaction from her shocks the MC as this was his one-time apology. He asks her if she has anything else to say. She looks confused as she tells him that she honestly doesn't know what to do, even if he tells her such things. Miyu just walks away. As she goes, she tells him to hurry up or he'll be late. He looks at her act like this wasn't a big deal and wonders if she's secretly angry with him. He thinks that's not possible and it's very unlikely. Now in the class, we see Miyu's name written on the board. Miyu smiles as she introduces herself to the class and tells them that it's nice to meet them. Suddenly a guy gets up and screams that she's so pretty with excitement. Everyone starts talking about how she's so pretty, how her ribbon stands out, and that she has a costume like an idol. The MC hears all this and gets concerned as he thinks that there's so much uproar just from the greeting. As Mirai is looking at Miyu and being amazed by her beauty, the MC thinks that there are a lot of students in their school, so there are some who aren't very outstanding. But he's heard that it's hard to get into this school, so Miyu must be smart, and she only has elements to cause an uproar. The MC gets sad as there is a huge gap between Miyu and him, as he's someone who gets bullied, and she's someone popular. He averts his gaze from her and thinks that she's become beautiful, mature, and she's popular. As she walks towards him, he thinks that it's obvious now why she didn't care about his heartfelt apology. Suddenly, Mirai stops Miyu and asks her if she remembers him and that she used to live here before. He tells his name and that they were in the same class in elementary school. Hearing Mirai introduce himself with so much excitement worries the MC. She replies and tells him that she doesn't remember him. Hearing this response makes the atmosphere around them awkward. Suddenly, she sees the MC and screams his name. She tells him that she's glad that they both are in the same class. She's happy that she got the seat next to him and tells him that they should have lunch together, and she made taiyaki. Hearing the word taiyaki makes him worried as he's eating it again. We see Miyu give a box of taiyaki to the MC. He sits there worried as he has to eat taiyaki again. The other students look at Miyu holding taiyaki and start whispering. We also see Mirai sitting there in shock after getting ignored. Now after school we see the MC say that he honestly can't find any way out of this as he's sitting on the floor begging Mirai. Mirai stands there looking at his phone and saying that he remembers that Miyu is his childhood friend. He looks at the MC and tells him that it looks like he got carried away and spent money on a woman and that he finally figured it out with his little brain. The MC tries to tell him that he only used it on taiyaki, but Mirai stops him and tells him that it's not acceptable. He tells the MC that he's his wallet after all. Mirai continues, with a serious face. He tells the MC to go and take a photo of Miyu naked or something. Hearing this shocks and confuses the MC. Mirai continues and tells him that he'll let him off the hook for the promised money, and he'll let Miyu play the role of a new wallet from now on. The MC can be relieved of his burden too, so it's like killing two birds with one stone. Mirai tells him that it's okay, cause even the girl he bullied before him ran away like nothing happened. Hearing this angers the MC. He tries to say something but remembers Miyu asking him if a person who takes his money and threatens him is really his friend. The MC finally has had enough and tells him that he should stop doing this. Hearing the MC talk back confuses Mirai. The MC tells Mirai that he used to be nice before, and even now, he deals with him without hitting him or anything at the end of the day. As the MC is telling him that they should talk together for a moment and they should be real friends again, Mirai reaches to a vase as he calls the MC annoying. Mirai splashes the water on the MC and tells him that the reason he doesn't hit him is because he doesn't want to be expelled. Mirai starts laughing as he calls the MC disgusting for saying that they are still friends. Hearing this breaks the MC. As he's still sitting on the floor, drenched in the water, Mirai makes fun of him for suggesting to talk and tells him that it's pointless to talk to a mere wallet. The MC stands up. He holds the vase in his hand as if he's going to break Mirai's skull with it. Mirai looks at him and asks him what is he going to do with it. He smugly tells him that he'll be expelled if he flies into a rage and hits him as he laughs. The MC doesn't know what to do and stands there confused. Suddenly, someone grabs the vase as they use a handkerchief. We see that it's Miyu. The MC gets surprised by seeing her. She tells the MC that he'll be expelled if he hits Mirai with this. She pulls out the handbook and shows him the rule stating that violence is not permitted under any circumstances. As the MC is seeing this, he wonders when did she come here. Mirai looks at them and smugly tells the MC that he has a very kind childhood friend and asks them if they'll go cling to the teachers in tears. Mirai reminds Miyu that the MC doesn't have any proof cause he's a chicken. Miyu smiles and tells him that he's right and that the MC is annoyingly nice. She suddenly tosses the vase in the air. Seeing this scares and shocks the MC and Mirai. Miyu stands there smiling as the vase comes down and bonks her right in the head. The vase falls down and breaks as they all stand there. The MC and Mirai are scared as shit after seeing this. The MC tells Miyu that her head got bonked. Suddenly we see Miyu smile as there's blood dripping down her face. She suddenly tells Mirai that even though they met for the first time this morning, it's a shame that they have to say goodbye without even becoming friends. Now, we see the aftermath. We see that an ambulance was called, and Mirai was suspended indefinitely for hitting Miyu. We see Miyu looking very lively, as she says that there was just a little too much bleeding. Nobody in the class doubted her, as the whole class saw them talking before, and the girl who he saved in the past also testified about Mirai's bad behavior. We see Miyu all good, as the MC explains that Mirai got off with an indefinite suspension because Miyu was merciful and didn't want him to be expelled, or that's what the story is supposed to be. As Miyu is telling the teachers to pardon Mirai, the MC sees her and thinks, isn't it too much, even for chastising? Now we see the MC and Miyu going back home. As they are walking, he thinks that she went so far as to hurt herself to stand up for him, and maybe it's not good to make such remarks after being saved. As he thinks that Miyu is a little different from the Miyu back then, he suddenly gets a call. He sees that it's his mom. He apologizes to Miyu and tells her that he has to pick the call. Now we see him talking to his mom. His mom sounds concerned as she asks him what's gotten into him. Hearing this worries the MC, and he asks the mom what is she talking about. She replies and asks him if he said that the Miyu from the Fukagawa family is back. She continues and tells him to not be silly, and hearing him say that she's back almost made her heart stop. Hearing this makes him question the mom more. The mom tells him that Miyu died in an accident last summer. Hearing this scares the MC as he looks at the Miyu standing there. The mom continues and says that she heard from Miyu's father on the day of the fireworks festival. She tells him that he suddenly got uncomfortable talking about Miyu back then, so she thought that he already knew. Now the MC thinks about how she changed so much and why she didn't answer questions about ignoring his texts. Miyu suddenly smiles with an eerie look and asks him what's wrong and what did his mom say. The MC looks scared as he slowly asks Miyu, who in the world is she? After hearing this, Miyu just stands there with a big smile on her face. And this is how this chapter ends. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you.